In this set of words, we're looking at continents around the world, and other words related to countries around the world. So we've got atlas, global, continent, Australia, Africa, Asia, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Europe. So if you go through, you can see there's some tricky bits in a lot of these words. We've got the AU in Australia, so don't forget all those little parts in there. Africa, you've got the CA at the end. Asia, so the SI is making that j sound. North America, got some, it's not too bad to sound out. Antarctica, so don't forget that C in there. And Europe, you've got to remember that EU at the start. All the continents start with capital letters. They're the names of the continents, and their names have changed over time. So they've gone through different translations with different countries, so we'll look at some of those in a moment. But first of all, an atlas is just a book that contains maps of all the different countries and continents around the world. Global just means the world or worldwide. A continent is a large mass of land, and we've divided the world up into these continents. So Australia is one where many of us live, and that they believe that the word initially came from the Arabic language, meaning dust, earth, or afar. Then it changed to unknown southern land, as in Terra Australis, and then Matthew Flinders changed that down to just Australia. So it's gradually evolved to this form. Africa means land, initially in Latin, and through time it's changed to be written the way we write it today. Asia was spelt quite differently initially, and like all of these words, or these names, and it means the land of the sunrise. So it came from Latin, then the Greeks changed it again until we got to today's version of Asia, spelled ASIA. America means the New World. It came from an Italian word, and Antarctica just means the opposite to the north. So it's an old Greek word that went to Old French, then went to Latin, then went to Middle English, and this is how we now spell it today. Europe means wide face, and it was initially a Greek word, and then it changed to Latin, and then we have it in this form today. So be careful when you're doing your spelling and writing of this one, because you'll need to check very carefully to make sure that you've spelt them correctly. Today's words are atlas, global, continent, Australia, Africa, Asia, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Europe. So these ones here are the names of the continents, and atlas is a book that has lots of maps in it, and global just means the whole world. So down here you have to label the continents, so you might need to find an atlas, or you could Google it, and you're going to have to work out where each of these continents are positioned on this map. So you're going to then have to think about where the equator is, that invisible line right along the middle of the world, of the globe, and the ones that are north of that are in the northern hemisphere, so you would list them here. The ones that are south of the equator, you would list here. Now all you have to do here is link to the correct meaning. We discussed the meanings of these words yesterday, so that should be fairly easy. And down the bottom, you have to fill in the gaps map. Now you may need to do a bit of research here or discuss it within your group, and then fill in the missing words in this. But there's a little bit of interesting information in there for you as well. Our words today are atlas, global, continent, Australia, Africa, Asia, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Europe. In the first part, you have to work out the nationalities, the names that we call people who live in Australia, and the language that we mainly speak. So it goes through all of those continents, so you'll need to fill those in. Down here it says which countries are bordered by the 5 major oceans. It's much easier, just cross out countries and change it to continents, because otherwise there'll be too many for you to write here. So just the major continents that border the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean and the Antarctic Ocean. So down here we've got seasons. So I don't know if you know or not, but if it's in the southern hemisphere, if we have winter, it means in the northern hemisphere we would have summer. So the southern and the northern hemispheres have opposite weather conditions all year round. So you can work that out and fill in these little spaces here.